All right, let's talk about something we all know, workplace ethics. But what if I told you the best way to improve them isn't with more rules, but with a little bit of smart science? That's the super interesting idea we're going to get into today. Let's do it. You know the drill, right? We've all been there, clicking through that mandatory annual ethics training, maybe half paying attention, or getting that giant employee handbook on day one that nobody really reads. But let's be honest for a second. Does any of that stuff actually work? Does it change what people do when a tough choice comes up? And that, right there, is the heart of the problem. It's what you could call the workplace ethics challenge. I mean, every company knows promoting integrity is absolutely essential, but it feels like those old school methods, they just aren't cutting it. So let's look at the usual suspects. You've got these super dense rule books, the annual training we just mentioned, those directives that come from way up high, and of course, the threat of punishment. What's the common thread here? Well, it's all about what not to do, right? It's all about avoiding the bad stuff, instead of, making it easier and more natural to do the good stuff.
Okay, so this is where things get really interesting. We all agree on the goal. We want more ethical workplaces. But how we get there? That's where we need a totally fresh approach. One that actually works with human nature, not against it.
So what is this smarter, more human-centric way? Well, it means we have to step outside of that traditional HR and compliance box for a minute. We need to start looking at this whole challenge through a different lens, the lens of behavioral science. And the real key here comes from a field called behavioral economics. Now, what's that? It's pretty simple, actually. It's based on this one core truth. People aren't robots. We're not always perfectly logical. We're human. And this field uses that understanding of our little quirks and biases to figure out why we really make the choices we do. And that leads us to the main event, the core tool in this whole new approach. It's a powerful but really subtle idea. It's called a nudge. So what exactly is a nudge? The most important thing to remember is it's not a rule. It's not a mandate. Think about it like this. Imagine you're in a cafeteria. If they put the healthy stuff like fruit and salads right at eye level and hide the junk food on a bottom shelf in the corner, that's a nudge. You can totally still go get the cake. Nobody's stopping you, but they're making the apple the easy choice. And that's the magic. Our brains love the path of least resistance, so the easiest choice often ends up being our choice. And this difference is everything, really. The old way is about forcing, bans, mandates, strict rules. The new way, nudging, is about things like smart defaults and helpful reminders. It's about making the right choice the easy choice. It's the difference between putting up a giant "do not enter" sign and just paving a nice, well-lit path in the direction you want people to go. One is a command, the other is an invitation. And look, this isn't just some abstract idea from a textbook. The whole point, as the research we're looking at shows, is to take these ideas, these nudges, and use them in the real world, in our workplaces, to actually improve integrity and build a better culture. Okay, I know what you're thinking. This sounds cool, but how do you actually do it? How do you put a nudge into practice? Well, it's actually not as complicated as it sounds. There's a pretty straightforward way to think about it. It really just comes down to 3 steps. First, you gotta know your goal. What's the specific behavior you wanna see more of? Let's say, more honest expense reports. Okay. Second, you have to pinpoint the exact moment that decision is being made. When is that person filling out the form? And third, you design your nudge. So for our expense report example, what if you put a simple checkbox right at the top of the form before they fill anything out that says, "I affirm these expenses are accurate and follow company policy"? It's so simple, but by making them declare their honesty up front, it primes their brain to be more truthful. That's a classic nudge. All right, so as we start to bring this all together, what's the big takeaway? What's the one thing to really hold on to? It really all comes down to a major shift in how we think about the problem. And here it is. Improving integrity at work doesn't mean we need another 100 pages in the employee handbook. Seriously, we don't need more top-down rules that just make people roll their eyes and check a box. We can be so much smarter than that. Because when it comes down to it, this whole approach is about understanding people. It's about starting from the idea that, hey, most people want to do the right thing. So our job isn't to police them, it's to design an environment that makes doing the right thing the easiest, most natural path to take. So I'll leave you with this question. Think about your own workplace, your team, the forms you fill out, the daily grind. What's one small, subtle nudge you could introduce that might just make a huge difference for the better?